Hi. Welcome back to something called the Artie Lange Show. Unbelievable. Thank God you were here for that, Chris, because that's a crazy story.
That's a wild
We got to
story.
talk more about that.
Yep.
Sitting to my immediate left, if you heard the opening of the show, is one of my dearest friends and a guy who we were roommates for a couple of years, and it's the first time I'm seeing him since November the 14th, 1996, when I was arrested.
How do you remember that?
He remembers it in the vividest detail.
Yeah, no, it was a big day. Listen, that's a day we got to talk about. I mean, we spoke on the phone a couple of times.
True.
But I never really, this is kind of compelling television in my world because I never really got a chance to, first of all, thank you for everything. I mean, you saved my life a couple of times, and you and David Herman and everybody else there, and and to say I'm sorry for that last day because I was coming down from cocaine. I was paranoid, and I'm blaming you for stuff as I'm getting handcuffed. And
You had a great line. I don't know if you remember it.
What was it?
So a black cop is arresting him, dragging him to the thing.
Wait, I don't want to miss a minute of this. So speak right into that.
Black cop is arresting him, dragging him, and they got him on like a stretcher. And he looks dead at me. And I see you, and he yells, "It's okay, you can hit me. I'm not black."
To an LA cop.
To an LA cop.
After all, like the craziness
After
that
the
just
Rodney
happened.
King man. So
In 96, this is an LA.
It's 90, okay, now you gotta understand, this is my friend. And I just start laughing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a horrible scene, but I think of it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, ground rules. So because we ain't seen each other in 17 years.
Right,
Ground rules.
right.
First of all, you don't owe me nothing. You're my friend.
No,
I love you.
but I mean, you were
Yeah, I get
you
it.
were an extraordinary friend.
That's what the word friend is supposed to mean.
I
The
guess
other
so.
dude's a jackass. That's
Right.
the not friend. So
Right.
I love you, Beast.
No, I know.
End of story.
We had the greatest friendship for a couple of years. We were on a TV show together, first of all, and a sketch show where you work 15-hour days, that kind of bonding, and we hung out together. And something I brought up on the air. You know who I talked to recently on the air was Chubb Rock.
Stop.
Yeah. Now you remember we had a night
Yo, son.
together.
Yo, son.
When I first met Orlando, not only was you writing, you were directing rap videos. The first time I ever heard Biggie Smalls was he would play Biggie Smalls when we woke up in the morning, getting ready to go to Man TV. And I would go, God, this guy's great. And you were in that world because you directed rap videos.
Yeah.
And you directed a video for this guy, Chubb Rock. Yeah. And during summer break, in between the first and second season of Man TV, Orlando comes to visit New York. He stays with me in Jersey at my house. Yeah. And we go to pick up Chubb Rock, who, keeping with his coolness, was living at the Chelsea Hotel at the time. Right next to Gotham, where you're going to perform this weekend. And he's got this great, deep rapper voice, but like really, he's a New Yorker,
Yo,
I guess.
son.
Right? Yeah, right.
It's going down, son.
What's up, son? Yeah.
Yo, son. What's up, son?
And that's how he raps. So Orlando, are you still a vegan? The whole thing?
Yeah,
okay. Orlando's also I never had any culture. 27 years old from North Jersey. I meet Orlando. It's the first vegan I ever met in my life.
Yo, just to be clear, black dude from South Carolina. It wasn't,
right.
wasn't that much different.
No, I know, but I'm saying you had been out in L.A. for 5 years and cultured yourself up.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You knew how to use chopsticks and everything.
Oh, yeah, I was fancy. I was fancy Negro. It was like the magical fancy Negro from the South.
I knew
Your definition of culture is so low right there.
Well, no,
How to use chopsticks.
for me,
Dude,
listen.
For where we came from.
Me in North Jersey, no one used chopsticks, and quite frankly, the whole concept of the fork is way better. But and I'll go to the death with that. But so we go out, and he goes Chubb Rock, and I happen to be a fan. I like Chubb Rock's a couple of his songs. So he's got this real low voice, and he knew Orlando really well. Did you direct one of his videos?
I directed one of his videos, and we were working together on a bunch of stuff. It was just that
Right.
time.
Okay. So again, this is around '96, and we pick up Chubb Rock at the Chelsea Hotel, and I guess he had been out with Orlando before. Chubb's a big guy, hence the name, and he likes a steak, I guess, every once in a while. So Orlando, they were coming to see me do stand-up, but he knew Orlando was involved in the night. Yeah. So he gets in my car. Orlando's in the back seat. He looks at Orlando, looks at me, and before he says anything to me, he goes, "Yo, they got any food for carnivores up in his mouth?" Now again, a white guy would say that. A black guy sometimes makes stuff sound so cool. A white guy would just go, "Is there any meat?" He just went, yo, any food for carnivals
Up in this mug. That was it.
Yeah.
Up in this mug. Yeah,
and then we went out the whole night. We go out the whole night, and we have fun. They come to see me do stand-up downtown. We go out a couple of bars. Of course, Orlando never didn't do well with the ladies. Orlando met a woman, and he left us. So about 4 o'clock in the morning, and by the way, that's,
on behalf of my
right,
penis.
Exactly.
I'd like to say he did what he was supposed to do.
This guy did it right with broads, believe me. So it's me and Chub Rock, of course, the two fat guys alone at the end of the night. But I guess with rap guys, they have studio time around 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning because they get
because you can get it cheaper.
Cheap, okay. So 5 o'clock in the morning, I think I'm taking him back to the Chelsea Hotel, and again, one of the coolest moments ever. He says, "Hey, can you take me to a studio on West 4th and like Broadway?" So I go, "Okay, fine." Now it's 5 in the morning, and again, until we talked on the phone, this is the last time I ever talked to Chub Rock.
That's crazy.
I go, "Dude, nice meeting." He goes, "All right, I'm going to drop some lyrics for this," and then he said N-word. I'm going to drop some lyrics for this. Drop some lyrics, and he shook my hand, left, and I didn't talk to him for 17 years.
Yeah,
but
by the way, I haven't talked to Chubb either.
Yeah, well, he said to say hi to you. You know, he's got a radio show.
No, I didn't know.
He's got a radio show. He's doing it right. I wanted to have him come on this week, but he was busy doing something. But Chubb's doing okay, and we had a great time.
No, so last time I saw him, he had just come off a flight. And
right.
The flight had this crazy turbulence on it. And
that's not for fat guys either.
Chubb thought he was going to die. So Chubb said he grabbed
Yo, Heaven, you got any food for carnivals?
Carnivore in this mug. He said he grabbed this little blonde lady about 5'4", and he goes, "It's real in here, son. Yo, son, for real? It's real in here, son.
It's real in here, son."
And he said he was squeezing her so hard.
It's real.
And she didn't know what to do because he was just holding this little blonde lady going, "It's real in here, son."
Real means it's trouble. There's trouble going on. A sketch we did, and again, since Orlando had been in show business for a few years, he taught me the ropes on how to deal with network executives. And the sketch I always talk about was, we did a sketch where the punchline is, Orlando as a doctor says to me, "I'm sorry, sir. I think you're an a-hole." But he says the full line, okay?
Right.
Yeah. So I played it was called The Fan, yeah. Blaine Capatch, great writer, wrote this. I come in, and I'm one of these guys. It's supposed to be a 2-degree day at the stadium. I have no shirt on. I'm painted blue and orange. I got one of those big afros on, painted blue and orange, a #1 foam thing, finger, and a horn that you blow. So I come in because I get arrested, and they send me to a doctor, and Orlando's the doctor.
I'm the doctor.
Gives me a full examination. It's one of those sketches where you get a couple of chuckles, and it's a 4-minute sketch. You get a couple of chuckles, but it's all building up to a punchline that gets an enormous laugh. And the punchline is, after checking me up, and I look like this, he goes, "I'm sorry, sir, you're an a-hole." But, that's funny as it is, but it's also just funny when you say the actual word, because at the time in television, they told us no one had ever said a-hole fully on network TV before.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, we do it 3 times, and it kills for the audience. Maybe even twice. We nailed it verbatim. Destroys each time. They go, as a safety for the network, just in case they don't let us get away with saying a-hole, do it one time where you call him a jerk or something. So Orlando, while they're resetting and everything, the audience is there. Orlando, being savvy about the business, goes, if we give them the safety, they're going to use it. And we know how hard it just killed. He goes, he goes, "I got this." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I'm just going to pretend. I'm just going to screw it up every time." And there's no way they could use it. So we do the sketch, and like he nails the entire thing. And then when it gets to where he has to say jerk, he goes, "You're a like he just babbles on it. And they go, "All right, Orlando, everything was great except that last part where you say the punchline, we couldn't understand it." So again, we need a safety because we have the a-hole part. So and Orlando goes, "I'll do this to him every time if they want." So we do the whole sketch again. We nail it, and then he goes, "You're a," and the director and the assistant director finally get together. The great John Blanchard, who was on our team because our director wanted it to be the a-hole thing. They finally figured out what's going on, and I see a couple of network executives talk to the assistant director, and basically they're probably saying, "Look, he's going to probably do that to you every time." And the executives go, "All right, whatever, just okay." And then the guy goes, "We got it, moving on." And of course, Orlando forced them to use the edgy version, which is, I mean, come on, it's midnight.
So bad. Come on.
Midnight on a Saturday night.
I'm like, seriously, my mother's up at midnight. She wouldn't even get up to watch us.
I know, but that was
I thought
that was that was smooth. That's the way to handle executives.
I learned a few tricks.
We got to take a break. Orlando's going to stick around for a little while. My great friend, the great Orlando Jones, who's at Gotham Comedy Club this weekend, will come back for more on the Artie Lange Show.